Hi there, Frank Tate here again. Today with a short video with a couple of tips on documenting your assembly line in IDI, TDI. Uh, there's a whole lot that can be done here, but I just, like I said, want to point out a couple of little tips that that I use when I'm creating assembly lines. So here we have an assembly line in the configuration editor. And what I like to do, just to try to make this as approachable as possible to anyone coming behind me, is I like to go into the assembly line options and select hooks and uh, select the prologue before init hook so that it's included in the assembly line and it's at the very top. And what I do is just copy some text in there or put some text in there specifying whatever the name of the assembly line is. So it's arbitrary deep XML parser. And then just my contact information, the original publish date, and a description of the assembly line. Now, I'm a consultant, so I work with multiple different clients. So I'm going into places with all sorts of different development standards or lack thereof for assembly lines. And so my goal with this is to make it as approachable as possible to anyone who opens the configuration editor. When they go to my assembly line, open up the prologue before init, and the first thing they see is some documentation, something describing the assembly line. And I think that's just extremely helpful. The assembly line itself has other places where you can put some documentation. For example, every component will have a user comment section that exactly where it shows up depends on how you have the CE defined. Here it's showing up down in this lower pane. I've also seen it show up in the right-hand pane. But I found, and if you put some code, some comment, depending on where you put it, it may or may not put a decorator on the icon next to that item. So if I put it in uh, the feed item, it doesn't show any decorator. Now, if I put a comment here for the connector, so comment, notice it will add a decorator now, this little blue icon. And when you hover over it, it will show you that comment. For the feed, it doesn't. So it acts a little bit weird. And I don't know. It's another place that you can document things, but I really like it just in the prologue before a init hook. Makes things easier and yeah, just more straightforward for anybody coming behind you looking at the assembly line. That's all I got on this. I'll have some more videos coming out later talking about all sorts of other subjects associated with TDI, of course. So please subscribe to my channel, post this video on social media, give it a thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. And I'll see you later with more videos.